All right. It's me and no one else, it looks like, but it's all right. So what this is the a quick recap of the coaches clinic at the CSA, the Combat Sports Academy in Dublin, California. It's just a little outside San Francisco in the Bay Area there. It's owned by Kieran Fitzgibbons, who's probably best known for training, I guess currently maybe Gaston Bolanos, Eddie Abasolo, Touchy Feely, Andre Feely from Alpha Male trains there. And it's an amazing gym, and this was a really amazing experience. So I'm just going to read real quick what it says on his website. I'm going to tell you what I think, how that compares to my experience, and just I want to go into too, like if you ever consider if you wanted to do something like this, what I would the ideas and some of the things you should consider if you're going to do this. It's I didn't know much about it before I went, and I wish I had known some of these things beforehand. So I'm going to share those with you. So if you ever decide you want to do this, you're a little bit more better prepared than I was. So for the fourth year in a row, CSA will open its doors to share this system, the system of striking from Coach Kieran. This will not be a fight seminar or a crew certification. This will be a high-level coaches clinic, which will cover coaching strategy, fight team programming, and weekly training logs for fighters versus general gym programming. Like, so what you do for your typical kind of 9 to 5, Monday to Friday kind of people who come in to train recreationally. Fight team programming and weekly training logs versus general gym program. So how to successfully mix boxing with Thai boxing and Dutch kickboxing for stand-up or for MMA. He has a lot of MMA fighters. Our progressive and comprehensive pad work, which was exactly that. It was very comprehensive, very detailed, very structured. I'm super impressed with his level of organization. And his drilling and combo system, his cornering and corner strategy, complete hand wrapping for boxing, which I knew already, but he gave me a couple cool tips, which really helped. And it's been a while since I've done it, so it's good to kind of get a refresher. The difference between wrapping hands for boxing and Muay Thai versus MMA. Cut work, which is good. I know a little tiny bit of cut work from watching Stitch Duran's videos, but to be able to ask someone who's done a lot of work, it was really cool to have that ability to do that. Strength and conditioning, mental game coaching, fighters diet and weight cutting techniques. This was a really, it was a block. Everything was done in blocks. That was a very informative block. I really, really enjoyed that one. And the difference between coaching men and women. Working successfully with promoters so you can get your fighters on high-level promotions and much more. By much more, I mean, there was so much. On top of all that stuff, there's also like business, like if you're a gym owner, like how to run your gym, how to set up your gym for success. I'm not a gym owner. I'm an independent contractor and I work for various gyms, including like Gracie Baja and stuff like that. And but even that information was helpful to me. It helps me understand the other side of it a bit better too, right? Because it's easy for me to be like walking like, hey, we should do this and do that and spend this type of money. And I'm not the one spending the money. So it helps me appreciate other people's positions. Okay, so this is what I wish I had known before I went. I didn't realize how intense the training was going to be. I didn't know if we're going to be doing like lots of lectures or like a little bit of training and then a lecture or whatever. I was a new coach, so we wouldn't have had to go through his system. He has a 20-point combination system, a 14-point defense system, sparring drills, all these different things. So we had to get up to speed on that. So for the first 2 hours, the first day was Friday, and it started at 10 a.m. and it went till 8 p.m. So it was a 10-hour thing with a 1-hour lunch break, and most of it was physical training. So for the first 2 hours, we learned his system, and we did it mostly just kind of tapping each other's gloves and stuff like that. You know, like basic combos, like one, two, jab, cross, hook, how to add body shots, how to add leg kicks. So if you're familiar with Bang Muay Thai or Boss Rutan, it's very similar to what those guys teach. I'm a black belt under Duke Rufus. I spent some time training with him. He has similar ways of doing it, but it's not quite as comprehensive. It's a little bit more free-flowing. Very similar in their overall themes and like the universal truths, as Kieran said. You know, there's certain things that have to be done, but a different approach. Just Kieran's more structured. So we did all these different combinations, defenses, how to put them together, how to call them, whether you're doing like just pad work or you're doing defensive work, or you're doing just catching them on the gloves kind of thing. So we did that for 2 hours, and then we did a bag class, so just hitting a heavy bag. I went by myself. Most of us were on 2 or sometimes 3 people to a bag just because there's 50 coaches. I think there's 30 new ones, so it's probably 30 of us all together. So I was on a bag by myself, just doing basic combinations, some speed drills, and some like conditioning drills at the end. Nothing too new or anything like that there. It was pretty stuff I've already done before, but it was good just to see how he implements his system into a bag class. So from there, we had a lunch break and we came back and we did his system on pads and we did his system on focus mitts and tie pads. And then we started adding the defenses and stuff like that. Then we got a little bit of a break again. This was probably around 4:30. And we got to watch Zoila Frosto. I'm hoping I'm saying her name right. We got to watch him do pads for her. And he explains what he's doing, why he's doing it. She, like if she's not breathing quite right, he'll adjust something. If she's just all these little things. And she was amazing. She hits like, she's got some power, that girl, man. Like I was super impressed and endurance. So that was really fun to watch them work together. What else here? So I make sure this microphone's close enough. So after that, we went back to doing some defensive drills. And then there was a little contest to see if we had to stay and do more bag rounds. Fortunately, the coaches won the contest. Thanks to Shane from Fight Tips, he did well, so we didn't have to do any more. After that was an hour-long question and answer, so we could ask Kieran any questions about the topics we learned that day, and that was it. He answered them. That was about an hour and a half, so we finished around 8 o'clock, I think 7:45. What I wish I had known is how physical it was going to be. I started off, I kind of went off on a tangent there. I knew we were going to train a little bit, but I didn't think it was going to be that intense. So I would definitely bring, if you're going to come, I brought gloves, 60-ounce gloves. I brought shin guards. I brought skipping rope. I brought some snacks. I brought a water bottle. Those are all things you can bring to the gym, right? But I wish I brought some extra t-shirts, some extra wraps, because everything's soaked. Like after 3 hours of training, everything's soaked. And then you go for lunch and you can come back and you're like, oh man, like my wraps, everything's just... So something to wipe down my gear. I didn't bring any, I meant to, but I didn't. I should have brought stuff to wipe down my gear in between and let it dry out a bit better. But so far I got a couple people watching. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Doesn't look like it here. All right. So yeah, so that was day one. Day two started at 10 a.m. as well. And we started off with sparring. So sparring drills first, kind of get warmed up. And then we went from sparring drills to actual live sparring. I think we ended up doing 12 rounds or something like that. I took a couple rounds off. I got popped in the face, was bleeding a little bit. But other than that, I was sparred the whole time. I got to spar with Eddie Abasolo, which was really cool and very humbling. He's very good. Gaston was there. Like all the pros were there. Shane from Fight Tips was there. So you could spar with them if you wanted to, but they got to kind of pick. They got fights coming up, so they don't want to spar with some random person who might do something silly and hurt them. Sparring there was pretty light as far as the contact, the intensity, but the intent was there. So it was a lot of speed, a lot of fast combinations, but no one was getting hurt. So that was cool. So we did that from 10 until noon, almost noon, and we took a little break. After that, it was Joseph Vadolini, Bazooka Joe. He did a 2-hour seminar, which was awesome. It was mostly on leg kicks and setting them up and stuff like that. If you watch his YouTube channel, it's the same stuff he's doing on there, but with a little bit more details. You could ask him some more questions, which was great. After that, we took a 20-minute break, I think it was, and then Mark Dellegrotte came in, and Mark Dellegrotte did another 2 hours. By that time, I was knackered. I was super tired. I didn't bring enough food. We didn't have enough time between the two seminars. I didn't think to go get food. So again, bring plenty of food. Bring some beef jerky. Bring some fruit. Bring whatever you got to bring, but make sure you have enough stuff. So maybe some like electrolyte tablets for your water, because it is a long, intense, hard day. And Kieran says that right off the bat when we get there. He's like, this is going to be a marathon. It's going to test your guys' physical ability a bit. So be prepared for that. There's a market nearby about 10 minutes away that has some food and some fruit and stuff like that. But it's if you only got 40 minutes and you got to get changed, get over there, order your food, wait for your food, eat your food, get back and get changed again, you're not going to have enough time unless you have a full hour. So definitely bring lots of food with you. There was a food truck that came, but it was late, so we missed out on that. So again, day two was a pretty physical day, 2 seminars and sparring, and then again, question and answer at the end. Kieran spent a lot of time talking about business, how to build up your gym and all that type of stuff. There's a lot of returning coaches. Some of them have done it 3 or 4 times. Some have done it like 8 times. And a lot of the coaches are saying, I've taken your advice, I've applied it to my business, and now I've expanded. I went from like 200 students last year to 350 or 500. I've had to expand. I've had to open up another gym. So I haven't done any of the stuff he's mentioned myself, but it seems to be working for a lot of the other coaches. They seem to be having some good success with his business advice. So day 3, I had at this point trained about 19 hours minus the lunch break. So let's say 15 hours of physical training. I'm pretty tired. I'm sleeping at Airbnbs. I'm not getting a good rest. I'm feeling like crap the third day. I'm like, I'm not going to train. I'm just going to watch. But you get to the gym and you put on your gear and you do a couple rounds and then you start feeling good. And the third day was still like lots of sparring drills, how to like set up sparring for so people are going to be successful, applying his philosophies into the sparring. So that was cool. Again, the sparring was nice and light. No one was going crazy that I saw anyhow. I don't think anyone got hurt or anything like that. There's no problems with the sparring. The sparring was great. I'm always a little bit worried because I'm in the States. I'm from Canada. My healthcare doesn't cover me if I'm going into a dangerous situation. So if I get hurt, it's all on me, and I don't want to get hurt down in a foreign country. So I was fine though. I didn't have any problems at all. I think I asked one guy to lighten up a bit the whole time I was there, and I probably didn't even need to. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't get hurt. So we did a little bit of drilling, a little bit of sparring in the morning, and then from there it was mostly lectures. We got to watch Stephanie Frosto's fight sim, which was super intense. We did the hand wrapping session, we did the cut work session, we did the water cutting session. So this was a lot of lectures, taking notes, asking questions, and stuff like that. So the third day was hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of training, and then the rest of the day was just like lectures and asking questions, which was great because at the point we were all pretty tired, and it was nice to just to be able to kind of absorb things mentally instead of just physically as well. So that's it. I mean, it was $650 for a new coach. Canadian, that's $900. My flight was $400. Airbnbs, Ubers, all that nonsense. It probably cost me about $2,000, and that was easily worth $2,000. No problem at all. He's doing another one in August or September, and I'm already pretty much guaranteed to go do it. I was going back to Thailand, but for the same amount of money, I'm going to learn way more. And that's kind of my job as a coach, is learn as much as I can. It does sound nice to sit on a beach in Thailand after training and all that stuff, but I'm just not getting the same level of coaching to be a better coach that I am from there. So I'm going to probably go back in the fall. If I can't go back in the fall, I'm definitely going back next year. And if you go back as a returning coach, you get new coaches come in. You don't have to go through all the basic stuff again, so you get to do other stuff. So that's the reason why people go back, because it's not just the same thing over and over again. You're going to get new stuff that's implemented with the old stuff that you've already learned. And so that's pretty much it. I had a couple of people ask me questions on some forums, so I'm just going to go through it here real quick. Let's see here. Just look at this real quick here. I think I pretty much answered all the questions already. They're just asking like, what would you do? Stuff like that. Did you get to spar with any of the pros? I had to spar with Eddie. That was really cool. He was super nice. He could have messed me up pretty badly if he wanted to, and he didn't. So I appreciate that. And yeah, if there's no more questions here right now, I guess, which is not on the stream. So I'll just write them down in the comments. If you're watching this video after the fact, just write them down in the comments, and I'll reply to them as best as I can. I won't give any of the exact detailed information that Kieran gave us. He is fine with that. He said, I'm giving it to you. You guys can do whatever you want. He gave us like 14 handouts. All the seminars were videotaped for us to go back and watch, all the Q&As, all that stuff. So, because it's hard to retain all that information. But yeah, I have access to all of it, and we're allowed to do whatever we want with it pretty much, but I'm not going to give it out just because I just don't think it's cool to do that. So if you have any questions, if I didn't cover anything or you want something in more detail, write in the comments below, and I'll come back and I'll answer them. All right. Thanks for watching. And fucking stream. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.